Hello friends, this is Carrie and welcome back to I Like Reddit channel. I'd just like to take a moment to say that this is our 100th video. Before we begin, I'd just like to say thank you for watching my videos, for subscribing to my channel and commenting. I really appreciate it. I try and read each and every person's comments and I do take them to heart. And I couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you so much. Today, video 100, we have 5 stories out of the Entitled Parent subreddit. Let's begin. Our first story is posted by The Stash Attacked. The time an EM tried to drown me in sauce. Fairly literally. Edit. This was almost a decade ago. I'm long gone. So Ask Reddit has a thread about the tackiest thing you ever saw at a wedding, and I was reminded of this fun incident from the 3 months I worked catering. Worst of all, food service job, by the way. Cast. Me, duh, obviously. EM, entitled mother. ED, entitled dad. EB, entitled brat. Boss, my a-hole boss. Bride, the bride. Groom, the groom. So campus catering rarely did weddings, and honestly the food we made was pretty bad and so poorly handled I think you'd want to avoid it. But the father of the groom was a big name on campus, so it was held on campus and we had to cater it. I'm managing the entrees, serving up terrible chicken and thick congealed sauce and vegetarian pasta that's basically just half-assed pasta primavera with cheap nasty oil on it. Seriously, I love me some primavera, but I wouldn't touch this garbage with a 10-foot pole. We're winding down. The last of the food is out in a few minutes. We will put the main course away and set out the dessert course. Suddenly, entitled Brat appears. He's about 10, so he absolutely knows better than to do this. He decides it's going to be the funniest thing in the entire world to yank the tablecloth away. Seriously, he was giggling the whole time, so I knew something was up. When I caught him with the edge of the tablecloth, I've moved fast. Me, kid, don't even think about it. It's going to end very badly. EB giggles more and starts pulling. So I was over. I take the tablecloth out of his hands and tell him to scram. I got back behind the table, smoothed my apron, and continue my awful job. That's when things went badly. EM. Why did you chase my baby? He wasn't doing anything wrong. Me. Ma'am, your child was about to pull the tablecloth, and it's my job to stop him. If I don't, I could be fired. Yes, this happened to a colleague. EM. We're paying for this wedding. Don't you know who I am? That's when I realized that this was the mother of the bride. Me. Ma'am, I understand, but there are literal— and that's when she jumped across the table and grabbed my head and tried to force my face into the tray of sauce for the chicken. A very hot tray heated by one of those sternos underneath. I, of course, started hitting her and screaming. The father of the groom came running over. Entitled dad comes running over. The bride and groom come running. My boss comes running. Entitled dad decides to try helping his wife try to shove my face into the sauce. I start clawing at him too, while the groom and his dad try and pry these people off me. The bride screams something like, "You promised! You promised!" I'm not entirely sure here. It was chaos. My boss is standing off to one side like a potato. All the while, EB was sitting off to the side laughing like it's the funniest thing he had ever seen. In the end, the table went over and caught on fire from the sternos, a fire extinguisher was employed, and the wedding was basically ruined. My boss pulled me aside while I prepared to file a police report. Boss, you know you can't talk to the police. Me, actually I can. Boss, if you talk to the police, I'll fire you. Me, that's illegal. You can't do that. Boss, your choice. I filed the police report and told them what my boss said. He didn't fire me. Entitled mom and entitled dad pled guilty to misdemeanor assault. The bride handed me a huge slice of cake because she was pretty sure the boss would steal my tips. He did. Too long didn't read. Tried to prevent a fire. One happened anyway when someone tried to drown me in congealed sauce. I got cake. And the second story is posted by Dreams of Clean Teeth. Entitled Dad picks on teen girls because he's intimidated by the bouncer. I'm a hostess at an outdoor beer garden. We're open to families during the day, but in the evening, everything becomes 21 and over. Yesterday, a couple came in to eat with their toddler for lunch, who was screaming and crying before they even walked in. As the hosting team, we made sure to seat the family at a low-top table with seats with backs to accommodate their child, because we're nice and thoughtful hostesses. Apparently, the couple let their child run around the restaurant, make a mess with the gravel on the ground. around. The bouncer asked the couple to please keep their child seated. He even referenced the sign on the wall stating, "Children must stay seated." Naturally, the couple gets angry and decides to leave. On the way out, they marched around to the hostess table and started berating us. Entitled Dad: "Hi, I think you guys did a great job as hostesses and were nice and all, but I have a suggestion. Just a suggestion. We came to this restaurant because it's kid-friendly. We just wanted to have a good time. But that man told us that our kid can't run around and have fun. How is a kid supposed to stay seated at a place that's made for kids to run around?" Myself and the other hostess are visibly confused. ED: "You should have told us beforehand our child wouldn't be able to run around. When you see someone with a child, you need to inform them of the rules before seating them. I'm just trying to make a suggestion for you guys to help so you could do a better job next time, because now our experience is ruined and that's why we decided to leave." And then the man just walks away. And the three of us were just left confused and irritated. Like, 1, I think I know how to do my job, and it's not your fault that you can't control your kid in public. 2, this is a bar. It's not exactly family friendly. We just tolerate children during the day. 3, it's not my fault you're so insecure as a grown man that you have to take out your anger on 3 19-year-olds because the big scary bouncer told you to control your snot goblin. Ugh. Our next post is by I'm Existing. A quick story about how some EMs got advanced classes removed because they were discriminatory. For some background, I live in a relatively wealthy in a poorer country, and I go to a school with a long wait list, so I have a lot of EM stories. Okay, let's begin. There had always been a group of bratty, obnoxious kids in my grade, barely ever getting over a 2.3 GPA, but their mom somehow made them pass with complaining and more utter BS. So around September of last year, 90% of the mothers of these kids banged up together and started petitioning and much more to retract the online classes. This was a huge no-no for the school at first, but eventually the board caved, and starting from November of 2019, advanced classes were removed. Almost instantly, my GPA went from a 3.8 to a 3.6, because no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't do much better than that. I was crushed, as I had always wanted to get a 4.0 GPA, like my parents had always encouraged me to do. Whether or not it was stressful, I tried really hard and was really close. Luckily though, the story has a happy ending. You see, my school's average dropped fast. So to avoid making this long advanced classes, came back and this year finished with a 3.9 GPA. There's a nice revenge story, but this isn't a revenge sub. Edit: the reason my grades dropped so fast is because I struggle in the arts, which are mandatory, and in my school it's possible to get 11 out of 10 in advanced classes, or something like that. And it's hard, but possible, and the 0.1 was because the online arts are easier. Our next story is posted by r/callousheart. Give my son a Backstage pass. A bit of backstory. I, 21 male, work for a private company that gets hired out to work load-ins and load-outs for gigs that happened around my city and sometimes further afield. Our main client is the arena in my city. We don't work directly for any venues we get hired by. We also have strict rules when it comes to the performer/performers whose gig we are working at. If we should meet a performer or member of one of the bands, other than a polite greeting, we're not allowed to initiate conversation unless they do it first, a speak only when spoken to kind of rule. This will become relevant later. There's also 3 groups of people who work at these gigs. The stage crew, that's us, who will be wearing the hard hats and the high-vis vests, a random shirt, cargo trousers or cargo shorts, any color, and steel-toed boots. The security guys who wear the yellow jackets with the company name on them, with the black trousers and boots. And the arena staff who wear black polo shirts or a hoodie with the name of the arena sewn on them, and black trousers and black boots. This is also relevant later. A little bit of backstory on EM. She's a friend of my mom's, and maybe in her late 40s, early 50s. She has a son, Kay, who's maybe 15 or 16. I'd never really spoken to her before this point, other than polite greetings if we bump into her at the supermarket. She and my mom will talk for ages if this happens. And she seems nice enough. My mother is also the humble brag type of person. She brags about my sister's accomplishments and my accomplishments to anyone who will give her the time of day. For example, The other day, I found out I passed my college courses and will be heading down to a different city for university later this year. As soon as I told my mother, she was straight on the phone to various friends to tell them. She's far from entitled though. So before the lockdown restrictions put paid to any work we were due to get, a band that's fairly popular, especially with younger people, played a gig in the arena. I got a call to work at that gig. The day before the gig, my mom got a phone call from EM. I was in my room doing whatever, and my mom knocks on the door and says, "Mom, OP, it's EM, she wants to talk to you." She hands me the phone and goes back downstairs. Me, hello? EM, hi OP. Your mother tells me you work at the arena now? Me, sort of. I work for a private company that the arena hires to set up shows and tear them down. EM, cool. Will you be working at the concert tomorrow? Me, yep. EM, cool. Kay will be attending the show with his dad. Would you be able to get him backstage afterwards? He'd love to meet the band. Quick side note here. The arena doesn't do backstage passes, and they don't let the public backstage after gigs. Some bands will offer VIP upgrades to their tickets where you get to meet the band before the gig, and sometimes some other cool stuff as well. Not every band does this though. There's also usually quite expensive. I got a VIP upgrade from my mom for my birthday last year, which included an inclusive sound check performance, Q&A with the band, photo opportunities, and a couple of other things. That was £75 on top of the £35 ticket. Me, we don't work directly with the band, usually don't even get to meet the artists we work with. Have you checked to see if the band is doing VIP upgrades? EM, I don't think they are. Plus it'd be really expensive and the ticket price was bad enough. Me, fair point. Sorry, I don't think I can help you. I don't think the arena does backstage passes, and don't normally let members of the public backstage. EM, clearly annoyed by this. Okay, can you ask tomorrow at the load-in shift? Me, nope. The arena probably won't budge unless Kay is terminally ill or in a wheelchair. EM, how dare you speak to me like that? Hand me back to your mother. I go back downstairs and hand the phone back to my mother. EM tells her that I was rude to her and refused to get her son backstage. My mother told me that she'd deal with me and hung up the phone. She then told me that EM threatened to come down to the arena and give me a piece of her mind. She then told me not to worry. She knew I wouldn't be as rude to her as she was making it out, and she probably wouldn't follow through on her threat. The next evening, I arrived at the arena with a couple of my colleagues at around 9:30 p.m., about half an hour before our call time. Our call time is usually half an hour before the show finishes, to give our boss time to make sure everyone who said they'd turn up has turned up, so we can find out our roles for the loadout, lighting, stage, trucks, etc. Get our color-coded high-vis, which we occasionally get to keep and wear for future gigs. And our sub-crew manager, for whichever role we've been given, can explain the game plan for the shift. The security guys also don't let us in until the boss arrives with a list of who's working that shift. So once we're suited up and booted, we head to the gate and wait for the boss. I lit up a cigarette and scrolled through my phone. About 10 minutes before call, out of the corner of my eye, I saw EM storming up the path at the side of the arena towards me. I put my phone back in my pocket and prepare for a verbal crapstorm I was about to endure. EM, LP, your mother said that you'd get Kay backstage after the gig. Hand me your pass. She held out her hand expectantly. Me, I don't have a pass yet. The boss hasn't turned up. Anyway, my pass is only a work pass. So unless Kay wants to work tearing the show down, it was a hell of a show to set up. It'd be even more fun tearing it down. Sarcasm. My pass is worthless to you. I'm pretty sure he's too young to work anyway. You must be 18 to work for the company. EM. Surely you had a pass for the morning. Give me that. Me. That was for the morning. It is now expired. EM turns red. At this point, one of my colleagues, C, notices the commotion and heads over. C. Hey, OP, what's going on? Before I could get a word in, EM yells in his face. EM, this boy said that he could get my son backstage after the gig, and now he's refusing to let him in. Give me his pass. C, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm not the boss. I don't have the passes. His pass is a work pass. We're not even allowed to speak to the band, let alone ask them any favors. EM starts cussing a blue streak at my colleague, and this got the attention of the security guard. S. Security. What's going on over here? EM. He said my son could get backstage and meet the band, and now he says no. The security guard glances at the EM, then at me, then at the EM, and then me again, with a suspicious look on his face. Security. Is this true, sir? You know the rules in regards to this sort of thing. Me. No, I've repeatedly told her I can't get backstage, even if I wanted to. Security. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Quite frankly, he's not my staff, and I don't give a crap if he gets crap from people, but his boss definitely wouldn't appreciate anyone harassing his employees like this. EM. I'm not leaving until my son goes backstage. The security guard lifts up the walkie-talkie on his jacket as if he was going to summon more security to physically remove the entitled mother. Before he could press the button, the EM gives off a massive and storms off. As she was leaving, everyone else started bawling with laughter. She turned around and shot us a glare that could kill Thanos if looks could kill. We ununanimously gave her the finger. That gave those of us that were there a good laugh and a bit of pre-work entertainment, and really boosted our morale for the entire shift. So thank you, EM. Your entitled idiocy meant that we went to work happy. Too long didn't read. EM demands backstage passes from me for her son, despite being constantly told I can't get them. Our final story is posted by Surprise Shellfish. EM loses it on leader during epic meltdown, maybe facing termination. Background: I started a new job at the beginning of March. I'm in a training class right now through July. At the end of March, we were all sent home and have been continuing training from home due to COVID. I'm lucky in a lot of ways because I've had the opportunity to see exactly how my company treats their employees. They've been amazing. They set up a special PTO bank just for people who have tech issues, childcare issues, physical and mental health issues, etc. Employees can use the PTO bank so they didn't have to dip into their own PTO/sick leave, and they wouldn't be penalized. It wouldn't count against them as an absence. Pretty cool, right? One of my training classmates is a very entitled momby. Her kid is only a few months old. It was pretty apparent that she thought that made her the queen bee. She made a lot of comments about how amazing it is to be a mom and how us childless people couldn't possibly have a fulfilling life. She'd show up late every day because she overslept from having to get up and feed her baby. If anyone mentioned they were tired, she would shoot them a dirty look and say something like, "You don't know what it's like to be tired." She'd even use it as an excuse for poor results on training exercises/tests, arguing with the trainers that she should be forgiven any wrong answers because she's a mom and it's so stressful and distracting. Moving on from the background, my state is opening back up, and this includes daycares. We're still working from home for the foreseeable future, but of this, HR sent out an email stating that the special COVID PTO bank can only be used for tech issues or if an employee gets infected. We received an email over lunch, and when we came back to our Skype meeting, all hell broke loose. Miss Momby is screaming at her trainer about the update and how it's discriminatory. The trainer asked her if her daycare was open. She said yes, but it shouldn't matter. The PTO bank should be permanent addition because of everything else she has to deal with being a mom. Not to mention the mental stress of now being separated from her baby after spending 2 months at home with her. Apparently, she's been using the PTO bank so that she can sleep in and leave early because she couldn't work and hold her baby at the same time, which is not what it was created for. My trainer kind of snapped at her at this point and told her that she was going to let the training lead know and HR because it is a misuse of the bank, and she lost it. Going on and on about how she's being victimized for being a single mom, and our trainer is just jealous because he's gay and he can't have children of his own. They can't penalize her for taking advantage of their generosity because there's no mental illness worse than not being able to snuggle your child 24/7. And if they fire her, she'll sue because they deprived her child of basic needs. She ended up logging out for the rest of the day. This happened yesterday, and I was just super surprised that she logged in this morning. She hasn't really participated much today, and I know that the lead trainer is out on a special project, so maybe they'll wait for her to get back before moving forward. I can't believe believe that nothing would happen, considering all the things that she said. Edit. This is starting to get a lot of follows. I will update you once I hear anything. A few coworkers and I emailed HR over the sexual orientation comment because it was super offensive. The trainer and I are friends, and he told me he just brushed it off. He was honestly more peeved about the PTO thing. He wasn't able to give me any more information than that, though. Update 1. No update. Really, she's still in my class. I did message HR again today though. I had a response from them on Monday saying that they would look into it, whatever that means. I'll see if I can get something out of the trainer tomorrow. I shared this on the Facebook group I belong to and thought it might also fit. Yesterday I witnessed the most amazing entitled Mombi meltdown ever, and I can't believe this woman is still working at my job. That's all the stories I have for today. Links to the original Reddit posts will be in the description box below. Please stop on by Reddit to show the OP some love and an upvote. If you enjoy my content, please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit the bell notification to let you know when I've uploaded new videos. Thank you for watching and have a great day.